Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in the heart of Las Cruces, where our vision is a world in loving partnership for the good of all. I'm John Rossi, President of the Board of Trustees here. Please help us create the sacredness of this time and space together by turning off or silencing your cell phones. The drumming for Spring Equinox is canceled this month, March 20th. The next drumming is planned for the summer solstice. I wonder when they put that this year. Thank you. Book study, The Art of Abundance by Dennis Merritt Jones, will have a new start time. It'll be 5 weeks, facilitated by Jennifer Kleitz and Alice Poole, and it'll start April 20th from 6 to 8 p.m. And the Dennis Merritt Jones, his visit here is postponed until the fall, until further notice. The Social Uplift Ministry book study on Thursdays, 10 to 11:30 a.m., is reading White Fragility. We will discuss the first 3 chapters this Thursday and decide how the group wants to proceed from there. The book is available in the bookstore. Our next joint service with Unity will be the Easter service, and I guarantee you it will not be your grandmother's Easter service. Helen Wright, Ministry Coordinator, will be the guest speaker. We will have the service available online, should need be. We are hoping we can fully gather again by then. Our next treasure sale is May 9th. Members should start collecting items for the sale on May 2nd and 3rd. And on May 2nd and 3rd, bring them in. Thank you to those who have donated to the wish list. The new sound system is, the sound mixer board is one of the items from the wish list. And in case you hadn't noticed, there's a new carpet. And I'd like to thank everybody who generously donated, the anonymous donors, as well as those of you who dropped your coins in the jar. It has made a big difference. It's beautiful. And I'd like to thank David Peterson for the amazing job he did working with the contractors to get it put in. Thank you, David. All right. If you'd like to see what else we need on the wish list, you can look at that in the e-newsletter. And please share and pick up flyers for events and share them with others. The flyers are in the back. Check Facebook, our website, and watch your email for the email blast for updates of cancellations and suspensions and regarding events here at the center and everything else. Next Sunday, our message will be recorded, and we'll play it by ear from then, but we're also looking at options to stream the event, should need be. And however, though, the staff will be able to pick up phone calls during normal working hours if you have any questions. Also, I'd like to say that the center, financially, even in this hard time, we're in very good shape. We can last 2 months with our normal expenses with no further donations. I don't want that to happen. So I'd like to thank you all for your generous donations in the past and encourage you to continue to keep the center vital and able to be here to serve your spiritual journey. Are there any visitors here for the first time? Because we have a gift for you. Let us know where you are. Don't be shy. We're just giving you a gift. We're not going to embarrass you. Well, we're not going to do it on purpose. All right, if you do us a favor, there's a guest card on the front of that. Fill out, please, where you found us so that we are able to reach more people. And thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. At this time, you can greet your neighbor from across the room, and while the practitioner comes up.
Today's reading comes from the Science of Mind. Today's reading comes from the Science of Mind text, and it's on page 88. There is one first cause, spirit, soul, and body, cause, medium, and effect, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. not three gods, but the triune nature of the one God, the one cause. We think of spirit as absolute, self-conscious intelligence. We think of soul as receptive to intelligence, and the intelligence is always acting upon it. Spirit and soul intersphere each other, and both have omnipresence. The spirit of the universe permeates the soul of the universe, forever impregnating it with ideas. The soul of the universe is the holy womb of nature, producing the forms which appear in the manifest universe. The body of the universe is the result of the thought of spirit operating through the medium of soul. The Father is absolute, positive intelligence. The Son is the offspring of the Father. The Holy Ghost is the servant of the eternal Spirit throughout the ages. Spirit is absolute intelligence, operating through the soul of receptive intelligence, impregnating it with the divine ideas.
Okay, Reverend Bonnie is basically the glue that holds a place together. Yeah, you are. She does a fabulous job, and we certainly appreciate you here. And so, without any further ado, Reverend Bonnie.
When they were rehearsing yesterday and they sang that part about people shaking hands, I started laughing. What a perfect song. And so he changed it for me to those bumping elbows. Thank you all. And what a surprise to see so many of you here today. I trust that we are all taking good care of ourselves and doing what is important for us. And remember to wash your hands. I think all of us learned that from our mothers, did we not? And just take care. So this month we continue in our focus on honoring the divine feminine within all. And my original question was going to be to all of you, did y'all see that fantastic moon earlier this week? But then, like the moon, things changed and our focus changed throughout the week. So my question is, where is your focus? Where is your focus today? The moon is part of what we've known as the triune nature of God from ancient times. And as you heard in the reading, Holmes talked about the triune nature of God and referred to it as spirit, soul, and body. But in ancient times, she was known as the triple moon goddess, the divine feminine expressed through the maiden, mother, and crone. And in later times in the Christian era, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, as Holmes referred to also in the reading. So over times, throughout time, there's been this idea of a triune nature of the one, of Spirit, of God. The symbols and the pictures and the terms have changed, but the concept is still the same. The idea is that within the whole are three expressions, or throughout a person's life, we evolve to those three expressions. The maiden, mother, and crone, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Whatever we are expressing, it's that evolution of the one expressed in a different way. And so that is what is referred to as the triune nature of the whole or the one. So I thought it was really interesting that in these times when we are experiencing this appearance of division in our country, all of a sudden there's something introduced to shift our focus that makes us so acutely aware of how connected we all are. Not just in this country, but around the world. We are truly all connected. And so I also thought it was interesting that the answer to this thing that is causing us to know how connected we are, the remedy to this challenge has been social isolation or social distancing. physically separating ourselves. So again, there's that yin and yang I was talking about earlier this month, that idea of coming together and being one and the need to be apart. And it's all in a balance. And I think it's important to remember what Ernest Holmes said. He said that if you can't walk on water, take a boat. And so to me, social distancing, if people are choosing, and hi to everyone who's watching this online later, if you choose to do that, and as we move forward, we're going to be looking at probably more of that for a while, that's us taking a boat. That's following what we need to do to take care of the physical in this time. And my question is, how do we then apply our principles, what we believe, to how we are living today through this event that now is up for us to look at and figure out what is working for us? At the conference in Denver a few weeks ago, Brother Lucian Baker spoke, and he happens to be the youngest person in our movement to receive a practitioner license. He was raised in Science of Mind. What a powerful speaker. He was amazing. And one of the things he said is that he believes Science of Mind is the cheat code for life. Now, if you were like me, I was grateful he explained what a cheat code for life meant. He's young. Well, apparently if you're into gaming, and especially online, but I imagine even if you're gaming offline, there are books written that are cheat codes for how you get through the experience or how you move to different levels. And so he said that Science of Mind is the cheat code for life. It's how we get through the experiences or the challenges that come our way and how we move to those higher levels. So I like that. And to me, Science of Mind and what it is we're teaching, that cheat code for life, is diving deeper into our personal spiritual practice. It's doing those things that we know carry us through challenging times. That's the key, that's the code to how we move forward. And some of that is involved in our practice, we know, is prayer and meditation. And so by gathering, I know that we're not trying to make light of those who are experiencing the effects of what's going on right now. So I encourage all of us in our practice to take everyone around the world into our prayer, praying for the families that are impacted by this, praying for the people who are impacted, praying for our communities, praying for all those who are making decisions about how we move forward, and praying for our own inner divine guidance to guide us in this process. We also take more time in meditation. We know, studies have shown that as you meditate, you increase your immunity. You reduce your stress hormones that impact your immune system, and you increase your immunity. So again, taking that extra time to really focus on a personal spiritual practice. And I know I heard about that many times when I was listening to talks before I became a minister, and I'd be like, ooh, I don't have one yet. So this is the perfect time. If you've been hearing us say a personal spiritual practice for years, this is the perfect opportunity to start one if you don't already have one. Additional time at home, meetings canceled, things to do canceled. Start that personal spiritual practice at home. As you spend that time in meditation and contemplation, you can shift yourself out of fear back into faith. We can stay in peace, and we can hold that consciousness, that high watch, for the rest of the community and the world. Years ago, I remember there was an ad that said, reach out and touch someone. And it came to me this week that we need to say, reach out and connect with someone without touching. But to remember that we are still connected, reach out and connect with someone at this time, someone that might be choosing to stay home to protect their own physical being. Connect with them. And our practitioners are standing by to serve you. I want you to remember that they are available by phone. Their phone numbers are in your program. Take those home. Connect with a practitioner over the next several weeks. If you happen to find yourself moving into fear, or feeling like you're getting something, call your practitioner. They will pray with you over the phone. That's what they're here to do. And they are ready to serve. Several have contacted me, and I know that they are ready to serve you. So in other words, I want you to know that even if we appear to be separate, we are still all connected. I want to make sure that we are still aware that we are a community. Whether we are in each other's presence or not, we are still your center for spiritual living. And Reverend Dr. Moira Fox said at the conference, be the teaching in practice. Be the teaching in practice. And so with that, I want to let you know that some of those folks who have contacted me are people who are willing to go to the store for others at this time. If there are people, again, if you're listening to this online and you are at home and you need supplies, you need medicine picked up, if you need food picked up for you, we have people who've already told me they're willing to do that, drop it at the front door, wave through the window, whatever is comfortable for you. But we do have people in this community ready to serve. They're ready to be that teaching in practice. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that we have come together in this way. Brother Lucian also said, anything that frightens us or makes us uncomfortable means we get to adjust our consciousness. Everything means God. God is everything. And then he encouraged us to play the game, Where's Waldo? Remember that game, Where's Waldo? The little guy in the red jacket that you'd try to look for in a big picture full of all kinds of stuff. He said, where's Waldo? Where's God in this situation? Look for God or love in every situation. Where is God or love in what is going on now around us? To me, I see this as an invitation to take care of a greater level of who we are. When I was at Holmes Institute, I had the pleasure of having Amit Goswami as one of my teachers, and he taught about 5 bodies, layers of beingness that we are expressing in the world, starting with the physical, then the energetic or energy body, the mental and emotional body, the wisdom body, and the bliss body, all levels of energy moving out from your physical body. And so the physical body requires such things as nutrient-rich whole foods, getting proper sleep and sunlight, doing things like yoga and proper exercise, breathing techniques, and meditation to stay healthy. And at this time, possibly even social distancing, whatever it takes to take care of this physical body. But this is also a time to take care of the other bodies as well. The energy body does things to heal itself or to stay whole and fed, like breathing techniques, sound healing, meditation, ways that help you to stay positive in the energy that you are experiencing. The mental and emotional body is anything that's impacting your thoughts, your emotions, your dreams, your levels of consciousness, and your perception. And so what feeds that, what keeps that healthy, is reframing negative thinking into something positive and building up what he says here, your inner armor of peace and joy. And then there's the wisdom body. And again, at this time, it's the perfect time to feed your wisdom body because things like reading, writing, living in the present moment, allowing yourself to do visualization meditations, painting, and other forms of creativity feed the wisdom body. Those things that you said, oh, I'll do later, you now have time to do and feed your wisdom body. And then the bliss body. That is that higher level of awareness and our ability to feel enlightened or connected on a deeply peaceful and abundant and joyful level, allowing life to flow. And again, deeper states of meditation, as well as doing practices like gratitude and loving kindness. And all of that we can do in our homes. We can continue to sit in that and feed all of those levels of our body. So one of the ways that I know, for me, I feed all of those is when I play in the dirt. I love to focus on my flowers. I love to play in the dirt, and what they've seen now in science is that if you play in the dirt, that also boosts your immunity on a physical level. For me, it's a meditative activity. It brings calm and joy. It's a singleness of focus. When I'm out in the garden, I'm thinking about the plants. I'm kind of talking to them. I'm interacting with them. I'm planning how I want things to go, whether this weed needs to be pulled or gets to stay for the bees, all of that kind of stuff. And it's something that takes my full attention. Further on from where Bob read this morning, Ernest Holmes said, "There is something in the human mind that desires to think of God or spirit as person. Let us not forget there is an inherent necessity for warmth and color. In each one of us, to each one of us, through each one of us, something is personalized. Spiritual evolution should make the infinite not more distant, but more intimate." And so to me, I love that piece about warmth and color. That's what I get from the plants and the flowers as well. I think it all brings warmth and color into the world. So as you do a greater spiritual practice or begin one of the things I think that we can start to contemplate is how is it that we are bringing more warmth and color and beauty into the world and into our experience right now. Bell Hooks says, "Love is an action, never simply a feeling." An action. How do we bring love into action, not just a feeling? Well, I have learned over the years, as I'm trying to create a new behavior or a new way of expressing or a new response to the world, if I'm trying to shift a habit, one of the things that helps me is having something to repeat to myself over and over, a phrase that I can get in my head and remind myself by saying it. When I brought my son home after I adopted him, excuse me, people were sending me cards of congratulations. And his grandmother sent me a card, and at the bottom it said, "Don't forget to kiss the baby." And when I read that, I was like, kiss the baby? I hadn't even thought about it because I brought him home. I hadn't had him in me for 9 months. My practice when I had been babysitting had been if I couldn't ask the child, "Do you want a hug or a kiss?" and get their permission, I didn't do that. And so here I had this little baby, and I couldn't ask him. And so the card gave me permission to realize as his mother, I could be affectionate with him. I could kiss him. And so I said to myself many times, "Don't forget to kiss the baby." And eventually it became natural. Eventually it became a way of life. And I still kiss that baby, and he's this big, and he still wants those kisses. Isn't that wonderful? So that was one of those things I had to put in my mind. More recently, some of the things I tell myself are be the light in this situation, or be the love in this situation, especially if I'm on hold for a really long time. And when the real person finally gets on the phone, I want to just bite their head off. I have to tell myself, this person is doing their job. Be the love, be the light in this situation. So I say that to myself a lot when I'm dealing with those kinds of things. Reverend Dr. Moira Fox also said, "When ego meets ego, what happens is let's fight. But when light meets light, what happens is let's love." And so my goal has been to bring more of that light and love into the world instead of that ego ready to fight and defend my rightness. So I wanted to share with you what Ernest Holmes has to say on love. This is my well-loved Science of Mind text. This is on page 478. It's a little chapter on love, and it's connected to 1 John 13:34 from the Christian Scriptures. "Love is the central flame of the universe, nigh the very fire itself. It is written that God is love and that we are its expressed likeness, the image of the eternal being. Love is self-givingness through creation, the impartation of the divine through the human. Love is an essence, an atmosphere, which defies analysis, as does life itself. It is that which is and cannot be explained. It is common to all people, to all animal life, and evident in the response of plants to those who love them. I love that part. Love reigns supreme over all. The essence of love, while elusive, pervades everything, fires the heart, stimulates the emotions, renews the soul, and proclaims the spirit. Only love knows love, and love knows only love. Words cannot express its depths or meaning. A universal sense alone bears witness to the divine fact: God is love, and love is God. So I noticed that he was aware of that love that moves through all of us, all humans, animals, and plants, and I liked that a lot. And as I thought about it, I started to think, we believe in love. We know what it is. I'm sure all of us have experienced it at some time, if not feeling it right now as we're sitting in this room together. And yet love is something that we can't see. All we see are the effects of love. And so I was thinking about how quickly this virus that most of us can't see unless we work in a lab has been believed in, and its effects have been responded to, and how fast that has spread. And I started imagining, what would it be like if love spread exponentially around this world with the same fervor as this has, instead of protecting ourselves, readying ourselves to receive it and express it and let it out through us. That's what I want to visualize and see happen, that love is spreading all around the world just as quickly. Just a thought. Where is Waldo? Where's God? Where's love in this situation? And so we know that that love comes from within us. It's already present in us, and we bring that into every situation. So whether you're at home alone, whether you're spread out here, sitting alone, or with someone, you are not alone. You are not alone. And so I hope that as we dive into our own personal spiritual practices, we begin to pray more for each other and for the world, and that we actually add into our daily routine that check-in with each other, check in with somebody. Make sure that everyone feels that connection and feels that love as we spread it throughout our community. My intention is that we are spreading love that is more infectious than any dis-ease that we know out in the world. I have been told that I can be a little Pollyanna at times. And yet what I have found in my life is as situations arise that I need to meet or deal with, the more Polly I bring to my Anna, the better it is. And when I thought of that, I'm like, so what exactly does that mean? Well, I'll tell you what it means to me. What it means to me is that I go deeper into my practice. These are not the times to feel like we have to do something and leave the practice behind. This is when we deepen in our practice. This is when I close my outer eyes to the world and open the inner eyes and listen on a deeper level. That way I can better weather whatever storm is taking place outside. I pictured it as diving under that wave that's trying to knock me over. I am a California girl. I was raised there, so some of you might not know what I'm talking about. But I learned early on, as those waves come and knock me over, it is not fun to be tussled around there with the sand and all that seawater. I learned to dive under the wave and come out behind it. And that is what I think we're doing now. Whether you're choosing to self-isolate or social distancing, we are doing this to dive under the wave so we come out on the other side. And so I've chosen to reframe isolation as my new staycation. I am going to get to stay home more The university is shut now for 2 weeks and maybe the rest of the year. We'll see. I will have more time to meditate, more time to read the stack of books that's been building up next to my bed, more time to clean and clear out my space, to journal, to write letters of appreciation to people. How often do we take time to write letters anymore? And more time in my garden to focus on my flowers. Did I mention flowers yet? As you know, if you are on Facebook with me, I love to post pictures of my flowers. And I did it for about a year and started to think people are probably getting pretty tired of seeing me post pictures of flowers every morning. And when I mentioned that and said, well, maybe I should stop, it was like, no, keep those pictures coming. We love to see the pictures of your flowers. So I still do it. And I love to do that in the morning. That's part of my routine now. So last week, I gave myself the opportunity to go across the mountains to see the poppies that are in bloom. If you haven't done that, another thing you can do on your own is drive over the Oregon Mountains. The fields are full of poppies this year, thanks to all the rain. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I pulled safely off the road, got out of my car, and started to go look at them up close. And every one of them wanted their picture taken. They were all going, pick me. Look at how beautiful I am. Look at how I look different than that one over there. And I started to think, what am I going to do with 100 pictures of poppies? But I also realized that humans are doing the same thing in their own way. Every one of us is going, pick me. Notice me. Look at how beautiful I really am. And that's what we're doing when we're seeing God in everyone. We're seeing that beauty. We're seeing that expression in every single person. And so are we going to, oh, she's so good. This woman is my amazing right hand. Thank you, Jennifer. This video was shown at the conference, and I wanted to share it with all of you. And there is more, so stay tuned after the video. I don't know about you, but I can't watch that and not cry. Oop, there we go. So thank you, Jennifer, for getting that on. Isn't that beautiful? I think that's absolutely beautiful. We are here to love. We're not here to hate, to see God and the beauty in all of its expressions. And I thought that was just a beautiful depiction of all the diversity. And of course, it's not all, because each one of us could have had our picture in there as well. So like I said, sometimes I need a phrase to help me remember when I'm wanting to shift my focus somewhere else. Like, don't forget to kiss the baby. And this week, as I've been thinking about what's going on in the world around me, I've been reminding myself, focus on the flowers. And then it popped into my mind your focus. And the interesting thing was yesterday during our Belong workshop, Tina Bailey also thought, mind your focus. That popped into both our minds this week. I've never heard that before. Mind your focus. And I realized that that could be taken two different ways. If we say mind the baby, it means to take care of it, to watch it, to make sure that it's safe. But we also say mind your parents, which means to obey. So if we mind our focus, we're watching, we're taking care of, and what do we want to obey? Where do we want our focus? So this week, my focus has been focus on the flowers. It reminds me to see the unique beauty in all of God's diverse expression. All of those individuals, all of the flowers that are saying, pick me, look at me, and see my beauty. Focusing on the flowers is reminding me to focus on where's Waldo in the midst of the flowers. Where is God in the midst of any and every situation? Focusing on the flowers is focusing on the divine feminine within myself and within all of you that wax and wane and full and change and evolve. Focusing on the flowers is diving deeper into my spiritual practice. And focusing on the flowers is focusing on the light that reflects off of the moon during darkness. And focus on the flowers reminds me to focus and mind my focus. When I focus on the flowers, I'm focused on the truth of who I am and who you are. And so it is.